afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Coffee and Conversation. It's good to be with you. As always, my name is Craig, and so I thank God for allowing me to have the mental capacity to remember who I am.
I know that's right, because if you sit up here and forget who he is, I'm gonna sit here home and get his medication. Hey, what's up, man? My name's Michael Wayne, recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. How you doing this afternoon? It is 2 p.m. and we are off to the races. We are here from 1 to 9 o'clock. We got plenty of stuff going on.
That's right. And so tonight we have 3 very important sessions going on. Number 1, this one here, Coffee and Conversation. Then at 5, we're going to have our Men in Training MIT mentoring session. Then at 7, we're going to have our Gratitude Tuesday.
All right.
So tune in for all this good information. And don't forget on tomorrow, right? And so our role, which stands for Recovery on Wheel Bus, will be at the Countryside Village. If you don't know where that's at, that is in Upper Deerfield, 99 Upper Deerfield, Seabrook. They call them Seabrook houses. So please come out there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and check out all the recovery coaches that's going to be there. All right, and then next week on Monday, if you live in the area of the Port Norris area, the road bus will also be at the Port Norris, New Jersey State Police Barracks.
All right, good. Instead of going to jail, you can go to treatment.
Go to treatment.
It's very important that excuse me, they have the Recovery on Wheels van stationed at a lot of the police barracks and the police stations. And due to previously, a lot of times people were getting incarcerated or put in jail because of substance related crimes. And a lot of times they was actually needed treatment. So the collaborative effort to have the Recovery Wheels station in front of these police stations, man, I was just thinking, I had a flashback when I was getting in trouble. I said, man, I would have ran to the van. Hey, can you take me over there to the Recovery on Wheels, man? Man, they got a lot of things, and that's important because if you need assistance with that, take advantage of it.
Yeah, and that is a great effort that they're doing, because before they was penalizing or incarcerating people with a disease of substance use disorder, they treat it as a criminal offense, whereas they realized that you wouldn't criminalize someone with hypertension, someone with cancer, with diabetes. So now they want to treat, we want to treat, so we're part of the collaborative effort as well.
All right, so that's all our announcements, right? We good over there?
Yes, sir.
So again, we're gonna be going through a lot of different lessons tonight. And all of these meetings will be held virtually, and you can also attend the meeting. You can come into the Capital Recovery Center. All right, so today I always go by, I'm a person that's motivated by spiritual purpose, and one of the things that was in my spirit today was cutting ties with people while you're in recovery. When I mean cutting ties, I'm talking about like your old friends, or not saying y'all lose the friendship. I'm talking about the people who are still actively using. And you in recovery, but they still actively using. And one of the things that I will always find myself, I got 22 years of struggling with crack and heroin, and 13 years, this next month, 13 years away from it. But however, previously, I will always get my sobriety, obtain my sobriety, and then go run around my friends and want to show them how good I was doing. But you know what happened? I will always end up using. So that's a very important thing. So this lesson today is cutting ties with our old friends. It's from drugrehab.com. You can go to it. I'll also put the link to this lesson inside the comment section, so you'll be able to download it and read it or use it at your own convenience. So we're going to go through some of it. It says people in recovery must reevaluate, re-examine almost every aspect of their life, including the people they surround themselves with. It is critical for those who are new to recovery to spend time with friends and acquaintances who reinforce their sobriety. Meaning, I want you to stay on the path you're on. Sometimes the best choice is to end friendships with those who put your recovery at risk. End the friendship. I have a lot of friends, and I came up with this strategy for myself. Is you have to come on my turf, and that means come on the turf or come to the area where I feel comfortable instead of me going to that turf. So sometimes the best choice is to end the friendships with those who put your recovery at risk. Again, it's very important. You might have been friends with them for a decade, a long time, right? But if they're still actively using, that's not a good situation to put yourself in, no matter how long you knew those individuals. If they still going down the path that you're trying to stay away from in your relationship or in that friendship right then and there, and then y'all can hook up later when y'all both are going back down the same path. It says that Dr. Stephen, an addiction specialist from the University of Toronto, says getting rid of old friends who are using is important for relapse prevention and recovery. But for many people who are new to recovery, ending relationships can be difficult. All right. So we want to let you know we understand that. Sometimes a person's closest friends have substance use disorders. Prime example. Remember I told you I will go to my friends. They had substance use disorder. I was clean at that time. When I went around them and they was constantly using, I'm hanging with them with the notion I'm not using no more. I'm done. I got my life together. Yeah. But somewhere during the course of me hanging with them, I end up relapsing. That's why he said it's a relapse prevention.
So it's all about choices, decision making. And so a lot of times we think that we have the coping abilities or the free will to, stay amongst those who continue using. Sadly, as Mike said, we may find ourselves indulging back into those. And it's just as Mike was reading, I'm just thinking about the choices. We can make some positive choices or we can make some negative choices. But the article's talking about making some positive, conscious decision to cut the ties.
Hey, that's good that you said choices. I was about to say ironing my door. I was painting my door today, and when I went down to paint, all I had in my head was choose life or death. And I'm like, choose life or death. And it comes down to choices. You got the option.
Yeah.
Every day we are presented with options to either do this or do that. Yeah. So whatever is going to feed me and give me life, I want to choose life. Absolutely. So whatever's going to destroy me and give me death, I don't want to choose that. So you have to understand, you have to choose choices. It's your choice. This is conscious decision. It's easy. It would be real easy if everything that was right for you, you just received that. Be like, I ain't gotta make a choice. This all we got. But that's realistically, that's not how life is. Life presents you with choices. You have the option of choosing this or choosing that. It says it's usually best to reach a strong point in your recovery before engaging with friends who are using drugs or alcohol. That's a good one. It says usually it's the best choice to reach a strong point. A strong point, like I said, I used to previously, when I would get clean from my substance use disorder, I would go around my friends who were using, right? But I noticed that was my trigger. Going around them. When I got to the strong point, I could go around them now. I don't choose to try myself, right? but I'm at a strong point in my relationship in regards to what I used to do in regards to drugs, right? So I'm at a strong point now that I understand that I don't have to go on their turf. I need them, my friends, they need to come on my turf. Because, prime example, when you go to their turf, they're doing what they normally do, what you used to do. Yeah. So it ain't like you know what they're doing already. Yeah. So being around these individuals can trigger thoughts or emotions that lead to relapse. This is something that I literally had done, man, over and over. I'm talking about I would do it over and over, and I could not understand why I keep going around them. And I just wanted them to see how good I was doing. But hey, thank God for social media. They can see me on. I ain't got to go to this project to show them how good I'm doing. That's all right. They see a picture or a video. Screaming live. Yeah, that's it. If you decide to stay friends with people who use substances, avoid places and situations where drugs and alcohol may occur. Friends who have active substance use disorder may encourage you to abandon your sobriety and return to unhealthy habits, especially if you got money.
Absolutely.
If they don't have any money and you come around them, they will encourage you.
Yeah, even if it ain't nothing but certain slogans or words or phrases. Oh, come on, man. You square it now, huh?
Yeah.
You acting like a cornball.
That's
you ain't got thick skin.
Yeah.
You might let that, rub you the wrong way,
and you start pulling out. Hey, man, you got cars now. You got cash at you. Wow. If you ain't thick skin, that's good. Because on the Man Cave this morning, I jumped on around 10:30. I was talking about shedding false labels. The label they call you, man, you're a cornball. That's labels.
Labels, yeah. Absolutely.
While being in recovery does not necessarily mean you have to end past relationships, it's important to recognize that certain people and situations can increase the risk of relapse. Certain people, certain situations, certain houses I used to ride past. My favorite story, I went to Land City, I went past this house, stomach bubbling. I said, man, I gotta get out of here, man. Go by that house again. I was going, actually, the only reason I had to go down there was because I was teaching my program at Volunteers of America on Pennsylvania Avenue. So every week I was going. Every week I had to ride past this house, man. I said, man. So I started taking a different route. One time I left my friend down there. But certain people in certain situations, you have to change. Your recovery is your responsibility. There it is. It's your responsibility. And it's ultimately up to you to decide how you want to approach it.
Big responsibility. All the weight lies on your shoulders.
It's all on you.
And so one of the topics that we're going to talk about is leaving harmful friends behind. And so Mike did the introduction, and let's get down to it, see what they talk about. It's never easy to end friendship, right? It can be especially difficult when the person is a lifelong friend. One you grew up, played in the sandbox, threw rocks. Yeah, you threw rocks at buildings and stuff like that. In some cases, people need to end relationships with their family member. Getting touchy, getting close to home. Girlfriends, they got another major one. Boyfriend, they got another, or spouse.
Wow. Harmful friendship.
Mm-hmm.
That's good because sometimes you have a couple who's using it, and then one might get clean and the other one still want to continue to use it.
And they marry, it's a spouse.
Yeah, that's tough.
Or boyfriend or girlfriend.
That's tough. That happens a lot.
Yeah. And so
and one of the hardest hurdles in that situation is because the one person that's walking in trying to be clean gonna always think they can help the other one. I got you. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But it don't work like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Although it is difficult in a relationship with people who are detrimental to your recovery, it is vital to your sobriety.
Wow.
Studies show that friendship play an important role in your success during recovery. All right. And so it says studies have shown that friendship, because we're social people, so we have to interact with someone. But we're just saying, who are those someone? Not the ones that's using, but those who are beneficial to your sobriety.
That's right.
According to a 2002 study published in the Journal of Psychoactive Drugs, your supportive network attitude towards substance use and recovery can have a great impact on the likelihood of future substance use. Multiple studies have found that your friends' acceptance of substance use is linked to negative sobriety outcomes.
Supportive networks. You have to, everybody might not necessarily start out with a real supportive network, but you can build a support system like that. I'll always tell my clients at first step, what kind of support system you got? I ask them. They might say, a lot of times, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of times people say, well, I have family support. And that's almost accurate to a T to the, in regards to people who haven't burnt that bridge yet, right? They have family support. So that's not bad. But your supportive network can actually grow. You just need to build relationships with different people, sponsors, mentors, recovery coaches, or anybody, spiritual advisors. You need to build your supportive network.
You don't want to be around people just going along just to get along.
Yeah.
People accept, you using and saying that's okay. You need some people who are going to, give you the real deal and say, hey, listen, man, that ain't cool.
Yeah, that's not right.
I want to see you live, like Mike said. Choose life, or you can choose that. Heavy. All right, and so it says multiple studies have found that your friends' acceptance of substance use is linked to negative sobriety outcomes, and their support for your abstinence is linked to positive sobriety outcomes.
Nice.
All right, and so choose life over death.
Choose life over death. How to end a friendship. When you realize you need to end a friendship for your own well-being, it can be difficult, awkward, and even sad. You may not want to have the conversation even if you know you have to. The people you're cutting ties with, may not understand why it is happening. Remember, they might not understand why you're trying to cut ties at this particular time. They may think that you have wronged you and they have wronged you in some way. To make the split easier on both parties, try these approaches. So we're going to look at some of those approaches. So remember, you need to learn how to end these friendships, because sometimes people do take things personal. Say, man, you ain't called me in a while, man. I must have did something to him. And it's not that. It's do I owe you? Sometimes people will not understand that, especially if a person is not familiar with substance use disorder, or even for not familiar with triggers, right? They might not even realize that what you used to do with them, around them, or for them is a trigger for you. So when you don't break the friendship the right way, they probably think certain things are wrong. Why is something wrong with me? And a lot of times, that's why if you're in recovery or you're into some type of treatment, you should always talk to your counselor and try to get like a family session. And those family sessions is a very big thing, because one of the things that helped my wife and I when I was going through my process is she wasn't educated on none of the stuff I was going on. So whenever she had the opportunity to come get educated from the professionals, she said, man, I should have been, I should have came to class a long time ago. She thought, tell him everything he did wrong, and then that strategy don't work at all, because the person that's doing it already has a conscious mind. The person knows. So let's look at some of these ways that we can make these approaches, or look at some approaches that will make ending a friendship easy. Go ahead.
Allow the friendship to run its course. This is one way you can approach how you can end a friendship to someone that's using, or those who don't want to see your growth. It says gradually reducing your interaction with a person over time is the most peaceful and non-confrontational way to end a relationship. Eventually, the relationship is phased out of both individual lives.
Yeah.
So it's a gradually.
Yeah.
Don't what they used to call cold turkey. Don't do it cold turkey. Sudden. Gradually let the person know that you're working on your sobriety. You're seeking growth instead of destruction. Always use some positive over negative, either word, phrase, or actions to describe why you're behaving the way you're doing.
And like it was saying, allow the friendship to run its course. If you're trying to stay away from them because you want to be successful in your recovery process, and eventually, as the relationship running its course, if they're continuing to use, if they don't come on the side of, oh man, I support you. Yeah, man, that's good, man. You know what? When you come around, we ain't gonna do that around here. You know, when they start coming like that, they either gonna pick. You're gonna have to either. They're gonna have a choice. They're gonna either be supportive of what you're doing, or they're not. But that's cool. You can even make your decision off of that. If you let the relationship run its course and they see you're trying to stay away from them, not because they did something wrong, but because the things that you used to do or what they're doing might trigger them to be make you want to rethink about relapse, then they're gonna either come on your side and be supportive, or they're gonna be like, man, get out of here, you cornball. You know,
and then you know who your true friends are,
and then you make them. They pick it for you. They let you know.
Absolutely. But now you got a clear head, you clear vision. You're thinking straight, and so now you can say, "Wow, I thought this guy was." So we was only around each other because of the drug use.
Remember when we did that time? My friend, he was from Maryland. He said he was talking about only time we realized we didn't really bond on this level because the only thing we talked about was basketball and drugs. Yeah. And he said it wasn't until after I changed my life, he says, Dad, we never really connected on this side. Yeah. So that's why we was like, it was kind of crazy to see me doing what I'm doing or him doing what he was doing. And the only reason why, because our only relationship was basketball and drugs.
Now you learned a new language. Still speak English, but the language is totally different.
All right, avoid hostility. The situation is already hard enough, and adding hostility will only complicate it. Be kind and understanding of your friend's feelings. So if you're trying to end a relationship and your friend comes to you and he tells you or she tells you, this is how it makes me feel because you don't want to be around, just understand that people are people. We have feelings. Understand their feelings. If you can do to your best ability, try to explain why you're ending the relationship or the friendship, and they can't understand it, be likewise, you have to understand their part too, right? That doesn't mean you have to just say, no, I give in, I'll just come over there, even though y'all drinking and drugging. Don't do that. But understand that they have feelings just like you have feelings.
And I just want to, this thought just came to my mind,
Right, buddy.
We could just easily just read off the paper without even elaborating on it. But it's not no meat, no substance behind it. It's just we're just going through the motion. But by sharing and elaborating on it, I think we're being more open and transparent.
Absolutely.
So that the audience will know that we ain't just someone just actually reading off the paper. We want to be interact with you.
Interact,
some type of form, some type of shape, form, or fashion. And
you can come on in. Remember, we're here from 1 to 9 o'clock tonight, and all our groups today. You can come. We're here 2 o'clock. This is group. Then we've got 5:30, 5 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock. Come on in.
And so the last one talks about how to end a friendship. It says, be honest and direct. If slowly phasing out the relationship is not an option, talk to the person directly. Be honest about the situation. Explain why ending the friendship is for your own good. All right? It may be hard to hear, but a good friend will understand your choice and support it. Now you see who's on your side and who's against you, right? Yeah. sometimes a person's negative response to your decision will prove that he or she wasn't as close as a friend. We're just talking about that. As you initially thought. It may be challenging to end relationships, but maintaining your recovery should be your number one priority in life after substance abuse treatment.
Yeah, we just said it.
Yeah, we were just talking about it because a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes we have to be what they call stingy about our sobriety.
Absolutely.
And that is, put ourselves first. Not to say that we exclude anybody else, but our number one concern is staying healthy so that while we're healthy, we can help someone else who's not or who is unhealthy become healthy.
Yeah, because and I love it that it says basically if the process doesn't work, then your friends will understand your choice and be supportive. If they understand it, they'll be supportive. If not, either way, they made the choice easier for you.
Yeah.
Like, man, hold on, this person is not really supportive of what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Which basically puts it back in your possession to make a choice. Mm-hmm. Are you going to just try to convince them to stop doing what they're doing, or are you just going to end the relationship and move on? And it's okay. Remember, no matter how long I have been friends with, I have the same friends, other than the ones who have passed away since I was 16 years old, 15 and 16 years old. I have the exact same friends, but I can't hang with all of them doing certain things that they're still currently doing.
So it is your responsibility.
Always
your responsibility.
All right, spend time with friends who support your sobriety. Let's wrap it up on this.
All right, let's talk about on the flip side.
The flip side. Now, you got the ones you talk about you need to get away from. Now, look, people who are new to recovery may find that some friends are more supportive of their sobriety than others. Some are more supportive, right? It's important to strengthen your friendships with those who build up your recovery and to avoid those who do not. Remember, we said choices. Spend time with those people. I always use the phrase, whichever one you feed the most. If you feed this, that's what's going to grow. If you feed this, that's what's going to grow. But either way,
that's right.
You're going to have to choose. Friends who have active substance use disorder may have difficulties understanding the importance of your sobriety. The very foundation of your friendship may be based on using drugs or drinking together. The foundation, like my friend.
Yeah. That's all y'all had in common.
That's all we had in common. Basketball and drugs.
That's all y'all related to.
That was our foundation. Mm-hmm. Re-engaging with these individuals can trigger urges to revert to behaviors that centered around the substance use. So it's like we know this, but this is something that has to be taught over and over again. And that's why we're talking about cutting ties with your old friends. That's why we're talking about this, period. This is the reason why. Because a lot of people are going back to their same environment, and it's not going to work doing it that way. So for the most part, most people in early recovery, it is best to avoid friends who drink or use drugs. You may be able to reconnect with these people when you are certain you will turn down any opportunities to drugs. I just said that.
Right. Yes, sir.
I done got stronger now. I know even if the opportunity, if they offered it, I could be like, man, is you losing your mind?
Man, listen, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, man, you losing your mind. I had this, turn the live off. We snatch him up.
Man, she's sitting in the studio. Yeah, we're having an iPod session.
Man, come snatch him up, man. You know how far I came. Man, surrounding yourself with people who support you has been linked to positive outcomes for sobriety. A study by researchers at the Brown University Center for Alcohol and Addiction Studies found that individuals with large social networks made up of friends who are sober or in recovery have a better prognosis after receiving treatment for any addiction.
That's a big word.
That when you got that social support, that supportive support network, the larger it is, oh man, your chances is good.
Right.
I told you we did a lesson one time. It was put yourself in a position where it makes it harder for you to use. And what that person who was teaching that lesson was saying is, if your supportive network are all people who don't use, if you pulled out some type of drug or something to use, they all would be like, well, what are you doing? So you put yourself in an environment, your supportive network is so large that's all functioning on one system, and that's staying clean, right? If you do something around them, it would look alarming, like something's wrong. What are you doing? But if you're around a bunch of people who are currently using and you pull out to use something, they might be like, how much you got?
Yeah, because our normal behavior in a normal setting is throws everything off course.
So real stories, real people experience the journeys of real people who have overcome addiction in that path to happiness. So you got to remember, spending time with friends who support your sobriety. Again, we were just coming in here at that, and we're talking about cutting ties with your old friends, and eventually you'll have when you get stronger. We're talking about when you're stronger.
Yeah.
You'll have that puts you, when you're stronger in your recovery walk, it gives you the opportunity to be able to turn things down. But early in recovery, a lot of individuals aren't strong to be like no, or to get away, or to end relationships or end old friendships. So we just wanted to give you some information, and I think I'm gonna get another lesson on this, and I'm gonna do it again next week. I think it's very needed. And I know some people learn by repetition.
So we wouldn't advise for those who are in early recovery to even attempt themselves going around old friends that's continual into that lifestyle.
Yes, build your recovery up, contact the Capital Recovery Center, get a recovery coach, mentor, sponsor, spiritual advisor. Build your recovery support network. If you have a family support network, that's awesome. Also, build up. The larger your recovery support network is, the better the chances of your success in recovery. All right?
Good stuff right there.
We'll see you guys at 5 o'clock. Give us a call. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, I just was testing you. All right, you guys. All right.